That is something to look forward to. We'll see, though, which one of these two teams will make it to the grand finals. For that to happen, we need to have a second game. Let's go.
GD's turn to bat.
PSG.LGD versus OG. Game 2.
Get ready for that second game as we are entering the draft to find out what these two teams have in store for each other. How are they going to switch it up? What needs to change? We already have the biggest changes. OG themselves removed the IO from the draft. Other than that, the Drill Ranger as well. So despite Drill Ranger taking a fall here in the first game on the side of LGD, OG do not want to have to deal with that again.
So different from the first game, LGD has a first pick this match, and LGD is still sticking to banning all the no-tail strong position 5 heroes they can take in the first phase. And OG thinks of themselves, IO is very good, so you don't want to deal with it, just ban it out.
Turn to bat.
Same bans.
3 bans. Yeah.
LGD.
Yep.
They really don't like no-tail, huh?
Yeah, the ban the Chen, Nature's Prophet and Venge, indeed.
He does have his early game is very, very good for the most part. I don't see him have weak ones, especially since we've seen them here on the main stage. That Brave King performance, he was just everywhere. And when he does play that Nature's Prophet or Chen, it's the same thing.
So OG has banned 2 heroes that they didn't ban in the last series, right? So it's open for the LGD.
Now they can go Enchantress.
Yeah. But OG has shown that they're really good at dealing with it as well, right?
Yep.
OG turn to pick.
Yep. So they do go for the Ench. What a surprise.
They saw what Sebastian did with that in game number 1.
The challenge is like,
copy that.
I can do that better than you.
So if OG prepared a lot for Enchantress from EG, right? They'll probably go something. Last time they went with PL and something? PL and Silencer, or?
Yeah, well, that's one of the two. And they go for Bloodseeker.
Well, a very good way of dealing with Enchantress is just silence her. Because if she doesn't throw out the Impetus, then there's literally no damage coming in from her at all.
Yeah.
So 2 silences.
Exactly.
Solid way of dealing with her. Of course, not directly. It's more like we kill your entire team and then we deal with you last, while you literally don't even do anything to us.
It's a cool pick, though. I mean, the silencer we saw rise so much in this tournament, but yeah, versus that Ench, you have the double silencers that can command, and also the last word, you know, it gives that like vision when you have it initially on him too, so you can find and just try to punish that Ench in the laning phase.
Yeah.
And now they have 2 silences. I mean, they even have the Bloodseeker on top of that with the global too, so lots of ways to just try to burst down this Enchantress as well.
So they're probably... Have they played Enchantress a lot before? It's usually offlane, right? Chalice playing it?
Yeah, Chalice plays it.
Yeah, so they want to have like a position 4.
My original idea...
Pressure it. No, you can go ahead.
My original idea was that LGD goes with Enchantress and OG go with like Silence and PL, and LGD go with Alchemist to counter the PL, but...
Shaker Ench, then we have our aggro pressure lane. If you ever get blocked off and there's actually like just one Ench creep in the lane, you're completely screwed.
Silencer is one of those heroes you want to be able to try playing up, and you want to be as aggressive as possible in that first like 2 levels, so you want to punish this Enchantress. A Fissure comes in, you're pretty squishy as this Silencer. Yeah. And this is, of course, as everybody knows, FY or Shaker. We know what he's been able to do on that this tournament. Yeah.
Also sets up for a lot of strong Harris heroes in mid lane, like the Lina Shaker. It can definitely take on the Bloodseeker. Can even kill him, pressure him out of the lane.
I like the Pugna ban against the Enchantress, where Sacrifice removes a lot of her damage potential.
Yeah. Well, there's 2 ways of dealing with Ench, right? Or killing her, rather. It's like burst physical damage or burst magic damage. And Pugna is definitely one of the best sources of dealing with an Enchantress. They ban all the Lycan.
Why do you think that is?
Well, they lack pushing power right now, and both Silencer and Bloodseeker. Actually, I consider Bloodseeker as one of like a hard counter to Lycan.
Yeah, me too.
I'm not entirely sure why they banned it. Of course, Silencer doesn't feel too comfortable playing against it, but if you ever get ruptured, you literally don't do anything. Like your shapeshift is over, and you're just like worse than a normal hero.
Yeah, I'm curious about that one. That's
The first game had LGD ban out Centaur and Arc Warden in this stage of the game.
Yeah. But it was mostly because they had the Draw Ranger they wanted to protect.
Oh, look at that ban. That is,
the
that's a Thompson Skyrath. Yep. They're targeting the mid lane.
Going for 4 null talismans. or even 5 sometimes. The guy's going insane with those.
What I want to say is maybe they banned Lycan to set up for the Arc Warden, because Lycan is one of the hero that's good against the Arc Warden, right?
Yeah, but they already have a hard counter on the board, so it's always a bit weird when you ban the hero that you already countered. It's like you kind of want them to pick it, but maybe they have some secret plans we don't know yet. Spectre out.
Spectre is also a good hero against Arc Warden.
And
I sense a pattern.
Yes, that does seem like.
So Winter Wyvern and Bloodseeker is one of the good combo too. Like you use the Winter Wyvern ulti and use a silence on top of it, and if they're grouped up, they become all silence. And then, but like I guess you don't really want the Winter Wyvern here because they have Enchantress already.
yeah, although it can work, it's probably not the best.
You have no stun in your 2 supports either, too, which can be a little bit costly sometimes.
They can always go back to Lina
First
here.
Spirit, maybe.
Yeah, they'll go back to Lina.
Lina to
So they do that,
confuse.
Lina.
It's OG Classic where they pick it here and they can always give it to Jax, or they can have a last big hero for the tops and mid, right?
Yeah, but playing a support Lina without any setup is incredibly difficult. Like hitting that Light Strike array is...
I agree with that, but Jax been playing this hero ever since TI5, and then he's been always hitting the stun really well, even without the setup. So I think it's like one of the Jax's best hero, and then his mechanically is really good, so he doesn't really need a setup stun is what he's thinking, I think.
And we even saw them ran like Wyvern Lina, and they had the Wyvern set up for the Lina on some occasions too, if they want to make that, like, you know, switch it up a little bit. Right now, the Wyvern not looking the best versus LGD's lineup, but
Yeah. Of course, LGD responding with the Crystal Maiden, enabling the lanes. Honestly, you're just so happy when you're a Shaker with CM. You always have like infinite mana to spam out those fissures. Whenever it's off cooldown, just harass them down.
We saw a lot of CM during the group stages, and it's kind of died down.
Like being a carry player, sorry,
go ahead.
you being a carry player, how do you feel about playing Bloodseeker against Enchantress in the lane?
I don't particularly like it, because you can actually just right-click the Bloodseeker, and the creeps will all start hitting you, and then it's so hard to actually find a last hit or deny without taking like 10 right-clicks in your face. So I'm not a big fan of the lane itself,
But it feels like
it's going to be difficult.
Bloodseeker is going to be in the same safe lane, and then I've seen Ana do so well in this laning phase, where he actually does well in the lane phase that he's supposed to lose.
Yeah, like the Spectre yesterday.
Yeah.
so that's probably the offlane Magnus, right?
Yeah,
That's more than likely Seb playing it. I don't think I only got to see 1 or 2 in the group stage, and I'm pretty sure it lost both the games I saw.
Yeah, it's
So the
one of the best responses, of course, against the Mag.
lack of reliable stuns on OG as well. They just have the Lina who can eventually go for Yules, but it's still very tough to hit that on a Storm Spirit.
Only problem is the Silencer. But we have seen when he plays against Silencer, Somnus, he always goes for it, Yule Scepter. And I think it's really, really important that he actually respects the Silencer this game. Because we have seen in our earlier series that he didn't respect the Silencers, and he got shut down heavily.
Very good. Yeah, the Storm, good for all those reasons, and also just very good matchup versus the Bloodseeker all throughout the game.
But going back to the Mag, of course you have the Rupture plus Skewer combo. It's pretty much an instant kill from full health. So that's pretty neat. And Bloodseeker can actually transition into a hard carry when you have the Empower on you.
And then Storm Spirit is a preemptive pick where they might think OG can pick Arc Warden as well. He might not do so well in the laning phase, but always he can just jump on top of him and ignore the bubble, I guess.
Yeah.
So.
Lina middle would be quite scary now, I think. If they actually pick like an Earth Spirit last and have Lina middle, the Storm Spirit is going to suffer very heavily, I think.
PSG.LGD.
But the way you want to play the Magnus, you don't really want to sack him, right? And then I have seen this combo where Lina and Magnus is pretty good combo, and then the dual lanes that I see, Bloodseeker and Silence, is most likely going to go to safe lane, and Lina and Magnus going in the off lane. It's
Yeah, it's mostly what's going to happen.
a classic OG lineup.
They'd be looking at Ember here for OG. That gives them setup, and that gives them disables in the fights, and it gives them another form of initiation to let the Magnus get the spells off, right? I see the Ursa ban. That's why I'm thinking about it.
But Ana plays both, right? Ember as well as Bloodseeker.
Yeah, that's what I want to say. I agree with you, but is that really a Thompson hero?
Thompson, what if he goes Bloodseeker?
Monkey King.
They're thinking the Monkey King, so that's the other Thompson hero. Yeah, I
That's a
just
Thompson hero.
yeah. I was just trying to think because that would give them setup, right?
And then I have seen him win against Sumail in the mid laning phase with the Monkey King against Sumail's Storm Spirit as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's really hard to play Storm against Monkey because you're always in the range of the right clicks. Then you get your Jingu stacks up, and then you can actually die very, very easily.
5 seconds remaining.
LGD is looking for an army hero right now. What's good? Like something like a Terror Blade could be good for him.
I feel like even though OG thought about giving Jerax and Lina, like because there's not that many heroes left for the Thompson. There's only like Zeus, which is bad against Storm Spirit, or Tiny. They might just go to Lina on the Thompson.
The Invoker.
I forgot about that.
Thompson Invoker. How did we forget about that? The special.
I was thinking something that can benefit from the Magnus, but that's also a way to set spells up because he's gonna go cross Wex. Also good versus Clinks. You can dispel the Strafe with your Tornado.
Or definitely blast him.
Or you definitely blast him in a lot of the cases too.
Yep.
At least we got some fun.
We indeed will have some fun watching this match. Who better to talk about this draft than the coach of OG? It is Pastorel with Casey.
And I see you brought your files again.
Yeah, we do our homework every day. Very healthy.
How do you feel about the way this draft went compared to the one in game 1?
Well, the feeling is the same as in first one. We are very proud of our draft, and we think we are confident in it. And I also have a story for you. We were in the practice room, and Anna was talking with Johan. Says, "Do you think this year is Chinese year?" And he was like, "No, don't think like that. No, don't think like that." And he was like, "Why?" And he said, "No, don't think like that." And I was like, "Come on, man. Anna is a little bit Chinese," and everybody started laughing. So the morale is really, really up for our team.
You are always the best at these interviews. I absolutely love it.
Don't make me blush.
Well, it's what I do.
Can I give a shout out to friends? Sure.
Give a shout out to all your friends.
So one goes for Gabriel Firte because he helped me with some of the sheets back home in Romania. Thanks, man. And the other one is for Geroge BTI, well-known Romanian player for Dota 2. So that's it.
Were any of them behind the Magnus pick?
No, our Magnus pick was something that Seb developed in time. So it's a process.
Best of luck to you.
Thanks.
Toby and Cinder.
This crowd is getting behind LGD to see if we can push a third game, but hey, you know what? China can win through Anna, but so can Australia as well. Also in the mix. Hi, Cinder.
Hi.
Let's get to
You're
the
so
game.
happy with that, aren't you?
Yeah. Australia reached the finals last time around. Maybe this time we can actually have a victor.
Oh, that's true. That is true.
Well, but OG, they're already moving forward. On his Magnus, you've got Thompson, who's been playing brilliantly on his Invoker. You wouldn't think this is the first time for him being on a TI stage.
Oh, you really will? Oh,
They found a target. Arme, you can taunt all you want when you get back to safety around your tier 1 tower.
So I think you have a really good point. When you just look at OG's heroes, it's just comfort heroes all across the board. They're playing some of their best heroes on every single player. When you look at the draft, it might look a little bit confusing. You have one hero only that benefits from Empower truly in the Bloodseeker. It's kind of nice for Quaswex Invoker though to get that extra bit of damage up in the mid game, but they have a lot of teamfight. It's something OG have been very, very good at using. And obviously with the global silence, if they land a good RP, they can protect it very easily. So
Anna enchanted up, trying to get in line for a fissure. The block is there, and no path out. Anna's in real trouble. Lunges on a tree and stands his ground to die. The honorable death. LGD will be very happy to take the kill.
Magnus has that voice line? I didn't even know. Hilarious.
And Magnus got that item. I think that's the other reason why Seb picks it. The huge... it's not even a proper mace. Courier Snipe is about to be attempted, but looks like Notel's giving up the ghost a little earlier. Needs to get down on bottom lane to help out Anna.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, real great fissure block. Notel's in a little bit of trouble. FY, they're forcing him into the tree line. They've already used their enchant, but Notel so low on life. He moves up through the trees again. FY, still no fissure available, but that damage, they just get through the old-fashioned way.
That is
beat him to death with your fists.
Really big kill, just because he TP'd down there. So Notel has to walk all the way from base to bottom without boots. And this is just more time to do exactly this again.
Another fissure block him up. If a firster succeeds, try again. Anna will be able to wrap around the tree line and get back out to safety. This top lane is also just a never-ending lane of harassment. You've got the long-range nukes. There's also this Crystal Maiden. I was kind of interested to see when the Crystal Maiden got picked up. It feels like a really bad game to be a CM. There's too many people that can kill you.
It's bad for freezing field. I think this hero is difficult to use the ulti on when you're playing against Silencer, but their lanes benefit so much from the aura. It's exceptionally good for the Shaker, it's great for the Storm, and it's also nice for Enchantress because actually Chalice can now keep sustaining those heals, pretty much casting them off cooldown. And that means they can play that extra bit aggressive on bottom.
Well, FY is looking for it. He's got his Fissure back off cooldown again. Here's your Fissure stun onto Notel with a negative armor. They can get through the Silencer, finding the kill, and it does do a decent amount of damage back with the Blood Right, but doesn't really have much more to give. He just stands here. The Blood Rage gives a little bit of extra life back. Top lane, Seb really trying to get on top of Vex Nova, but Arme, both callers battling the supports, trying to get him out of the lane.
So LGD, they do have a couple kills bottom, but Bloodseeker still with the CS advantage with 10 to the 4 of Enchantress. Still funny to think about how March pointed out how well the Enchantress did in the last game, that's the biggest win they've seen in the lane, and now it goes to the second game and there's 3 kills on this lane in 2 minutes. Seems to be a, you know, strong hero in the right circumstances.
Yeah, you know,
again.
Yeah, another great block over on Anna. FY is bringing in the damage. You have the Blood Right as LGD try and dodge it for the moment, and chance off cooldown in 2 seconds time. And Anna will be so slowed up, there will be no way for him to survive. And FY can close the distance and slam it. One more attack. Oh no! Anna! Very Fire and stick charges available. FY will have to go into the tree lines. Anna's still licking his wounds. He needs some CS under Blood Rage to get that life back again.
Speaking of CS, all 3 top CS currently on OG side. Oh, they cut the stun on Ame.
That's a huge hit.
Who needs setup for Lina?
Who needs even RP? Like they don't need drag back, don't need push up.
Jarek has the move speed advantage when he has the fiery soul stacks running, and that's exactly what he did. So he just ran up, caught Ame off guard. Hadn't skilled the skeleton walk, still hasn't. So if he does get caught, it can get dangerous, and they're just spam harassing him when with the shockwave and the Dragon Slave whenever it's available.
Crystal Maiden's doing the long walk. One by one, these supports have to do the hard walk.
They're getting so out-farmed in their side lanes. It's strange to see LGD getting this crushed on just raw CS.
Fissure from FY trying to look for the right line. Thompson had no information about this. He's just going for the 4-minute rune, which is of course an invis. He doesn't want that, so deny it. And they'll be backing off. FY sees there's no rune on bottom. And Somnus will be left with an empty bottle. That's why they come back. Plus, really good regeneration, 19.2. They need to get the Fissure block off. That's what FY is going to be there for. Thompson will have to run up the river, but is he really that intimidated? Somnus does not bring enough damage, and the TP support that was coming in from OG, yeah, it was... Notel thought he needed to be there, but he really didn't.
Thompson is now zoning off Somnus. Loves this matchup. Storm cannot really play aggressive in the beginning, and Quaswex Invoker can play super aggressive with that regen advantage.
Chalice is looking for a fight. Anna, and they got so much damage into Chalice already. Anna needs to back off, however, with FY being in the neighborhood and the Stolen Centaur. Stun, the control, and the meat shields too much. And Somnus, well, this is one way to get back up again. Double bounty runes for him on the bottom. Bottle charge is more important as well with the money.
It's a big XP advantage mid though. Thompson is a level and a half ahead and at 5. It's just those 14 denies.
Chalice does it solo. Slows him up with the enchant, stuns up, and Notal will fall. Mid lane, you're going to go for the EMP Tornado. The Fissure from FY will create the space. It's a good thing for Somnus, he was able to get those bottle charges up. And X-Nova's feeling the pressure as well from Jirax. The Observer in Central Wood at least lets them know what's coming. And X-Nova into the trees, away from Jirax, who really wants to dive this.
Currently visible to Thirst, and he will TP back to the shrine and heal up so that Bloodseeker doesn't have that damage advantage on bottom.
But they saw the TP there, so Jirax dives onto the tower looking for the Light Strike Array. Arme try and juke it for the moment. They just start with the Dragon Slave instead, while on bottom lane they go into the Shrine area. Arme, he'll be safe under the tower, so we can turn our attention down to the bottom lane where Ana running inside the tree lines. He's got nothing more to really give. Stunned up, hit hard. Stick Charge will give him a little bit more life and no support TPing over. But Charles and FY, they're working hard for this. They actually still finally get the kill up on top lane, but Ana will die on bottom. LGD, 2 kills in the space of 10 seconds.
And I do think Ana tried to TP out earlier in that skirmish bottom, so won't have one to get back to lane. If I did see that correctly, got stopped by the Enchant Totem of FY after the fissure. Now Ana has to do the long walk up toward the top lane. It seems like he is done with bottom.
Team up with Notel and Jirax. They've come towards the top lane, cursing onto Arme. Trying to keep him low. Thompson's having the time of his life in middle lane, getting the Cold Snap charges into Somnus, not to mention the EMP Tornado that allowed him to set up and just burn the bottle. And does he try and go again? There's no abilities available for Thompson, so Somnus with a haste rune. Trying to make the most out of this.
I don't think Seb will have a good time bottom either. He's going down as a level 4 Magnus against level 6 Enchantress. This lane is horrible. Every time he tries to CS with anything else than Shockwave, he's going to take 2 Impetus. So.
TP's top, FY is coming in, they're looking over towards Jirax, but X-Nova cursed up for the moment. Arme is just battling up with Notel, trying to do it solo. X-Nova has to make a break for the tree line. That curse hurts so hard, but not as bad as Arme's searing arrows. X-Nova cannot get enough for control onto Ana, so Jirax in the trees. Arme can get a double. It's both the supports of OG, but Somnus in middle lane. Thompson, one more attack will do it, combining with the Cold Snap. Fight me indeed. Finds the kill. Ana's the one who's really trying to fight. The Blood Right's out. Arme silenced up for the moment. No searing arrows. He doesn't have that bonus damage, but it does not require it. A triple kill for Arme in this safe lane.
And he's going to be able to walk over and Death Pact a Wild Wing here, or might be going deeper into the jungle to play safe. No, he's still going to
if he does, Notel might be able to get him. You got Curse as well as... Okay, yeah, he's... Welcome to extra life to survive everything.
He got 400 health out of it. So.
Yep. He still wants to try and find up against Notel for the creeps. Arcane Rune, long jump, EMP Tornado. It's on the money. Arcane Rune was bolted up from Storm Spirit, but he won't be able to survive. Not when the extra support is there from Jirax to land the stun.
Heads up play from Thompson this game. He is doing an awesome job at destroying this lane.
And it's going to kill Arme. Cursed up on the run. It doesn't take much when he's that low. FY looking for the stun, needs the control, misses it, doesn't have vision. That's why he needed to connect. It was 2 seconds still on cooldown, while mid lane it's a bad day to be a Crystal Maiden. Thompson was right on top of him. Tornado out, she'll die from the fall. She can only hover, not fly.
Thompson is 3 levels ahead of Somnus. I know this is an Invoker favored matchup when you play like Quas like this, but this is really spectacular. Just playing so aggressively in that mid lane, taking advantage of Somnus's weak hero until level 6, and even at the 6 level mark when he gets that top rune, he even gets a kill there.
Ana's actually kind of trapped in on this top lane. FY thought he could keep the control up. Arme wasn't really ready to attack. He doesn't have the Death Pact creep inside of him. Notel will burn every bit of mana he's got. There's no shrine for them to recoup with. And Charles is finally coming into the mid lane. They're trying LGD to change the equilibrium. You've already taken the bottom tier 1 tower. Now Charles, probably the only hero strong enough to stand up against the Invoker.
If they want to jungle their Storm a bit, Somnus has had enough of mid. And there's still the ganking threat. So if Storm is off the map, you can't play completely safely in the mid lane all the time. So at some points you're going to need to take risks, and the Storm is able to connect together with a fissure. There could be a big kill for them. Global Silence is still a decent ways away for Notel. He doesn't have the gold for the Tome of Knowledge.
Great scan from LGD before. They already saw this coming. Denied the Bounding Rune. Somnus, he wanted those charges. He's got the 1 charges available, at least Chalice. Okay, he'll connect. Killing off Jirax. Putting that long range. Impetus damage out. They also managed to deward the Observer in mid lane because of that scan connecting onto Jirax on his rotation. Somnus comes for the Illusion Rune top river. Needs to be able to fight, needs to be able to combo with Charles and get back into this game. But while this is happening, Arme is getting more space on the top lane too.
Finally puts a point into Skeleton Walk, so could tell us that he is interested in making a move sometime soon. crossing into perhaps the mid lane.
Yep, but they'll try and beat down this top tier 1 tower first. Fortification, but Charles is bringing extra catapult. That's why they feel confident to do this. No searing arrows flying in. Jirax just puts a sentry ward in case there's information on the hillside, which there is not.
Chalice will just keep tanking this with level 2 Nature's Attendants.
Yep, still gets hit by the blood right. Didn't want to back off too fast. He keeps both himself as well as Ame up, and yeah, this tower is dead. No potential denied. Jirax able to hit the Light Strike array onto FY, saw coming down through the trees. But the trade-off. Thompson can still pressure this mid-tier 1 tower. Getting space in the bottom lane to farm up too. Seb's already got the Blink Dagger available, so Blink RP is not available yet because Seb never even leveled it. Chalice dusted.
Meteor Hammer.
You'll come down. Meteor Hammer. It's real early and real good.
This is one of Thompson's secondary builds on the Crosswex Invoker. Sometimes you will see him go for this Meteor Hammer. Obviously, great synergy with Tornado. The lift time sets up for that follow-up stun. Is a way of killing the Storm Spirit. So.
Yep. Now they're coming towards the mid lane. The tier 1 tower is under siege. FY is having to do the slow walk in. As Somnus trying to find the only safe place he feels to farm, which is down the bottom lane.
Tower's
the Meteor Hammer. Yeah, tower ticks out. FY can't deny it. Not in time, at least. But the networks are still okay for LGD. Number 1 definitely belongs to Thompson, who now they try and kill off. Good fissure. Chalice. EMP's finally coming in, and they actually have enough control when Seb arrives. The damage output, he can't finish the job. The global silence is stopping it now. Somnus jumps in. The Echo Slam from FY. The control is there. The kill is there. Thompson will fall. A huge one to claim, and letting it go. X-Nova right in the face of No Tail. FY survives on 22 HP.
Ah, the classic let's just kill Enchantress. And they have to commit so much for it. Seb does get the kill. He had to skewer RP. Just the solo Ench in the end to get the kill. Oh, perfect timing on the fissure.
There's Seb, he wants to finish this. The Shockwave, FY! He got enough regeneration from the Shrine. Now Seb will TP out. Is there a disable? There is not. X-Nova. It was 1 second for the Frostbite to be back off cooldown.
Woo.
Things heat up once again. Hey, one team gets a fantastic start in the laning phase, and around this 10-minute mark, you just change it up. One good fight. And we level the board, and here's that fight once again. So Thompson starts it off.
Missing the Tornado turns out to be pretty important here. That's the little bit of extra damage and setup that they were lacking for this exact kill. Gets the stick charges off, runs away, skewer RP.
FY just walks into it. We'll come back to the world of the living as the fissure. It blocks in Thompson. They put the sentry ward down, but he just outwalks it. They don't have another controlling factor. They have another sentry ward, but Thompson just too fast.
He had 2 seconds cooldown on Enchantress, or that could have maybe been a kill. But Thompson gets away. Got a bit of damage out there.
Oh, fissure again. Just trying to battle for the Invis rune. It's bottled up, and Seb will now use it. A lot of sentry wards already committed by LGD. 3 cutting a line around that ancient camp. At least they protect some level of their farm for the moment. Somna sits there. Actually, yeah, make it 4 with the one on the river. And Thompson and Anna are up on top lane to take the tier 1 tower. LGD are not in a position to fight this just yet.
Oh, looks to be a trade-off most likely, unless... Actually, there's nothing for LGD to really trade. They can't connect to mid fast enough, and they've already taken the bottom tower, so OG just will get this for free.
And Anna's just going further. The alacrity will wear off in just a bit, but no reason why he can't keep pressuring the tier 2 tower if LGD can't go for a quick trade-off. Now Chalice, I don't know if he really wanted that range creep. He attacked it, then he stole it, then left it underneath the tower. That's the new problem for LGD to face in the fights. Anna now has a Blade Meld completed. And they're going to farm up a rather large stack.
Always one of these benefits with Magnus. When games slow down for a bit, Magnus team is generally favored just in terms of raw farm. People a lot of the time focus on, well, when you have Magnus you can empower your carry and he can farm. Mag himself farms really well during downtime while enabling his carry, so a little bit of extra farm for both of them.
This will be a great time for LGD to fight. There's a smoke on the Crystal Maiden, but it's FY having the Blink Dagger that's fresh up. 15 minutes in. They need a good fight, and Thompson, well, the pullback is there, and look at him focus down. Turn on the strafe. blink and you'll miss it.
Little bit too cute on that
Now
one.
mid lane, rupture, they skew on, trying to drag Chalice back in again. The sprites can't heal through this, but the blink, Echo Slam, FY only hits one target. The fissure will connect over on two, and Thompson, he's tipping him. Yeah, thanks for the stun, man. I'll take your life in return if you can go up the hill. FY was waiting for it. Name's arrived. The searing arrow damage. At least there's a controlling factor. It's Sept with his RP in the trees, but you do that for a kill on X Nova and FY, he'll get something better. Jirax. The rock wall comes out of the tree line to take the Lena's life.
I think OG felt confident trying to fight there with Storm having low mana, but they just don't connect a meaningful RP. They got the Crystal Maiden only in that one, and it's a kill, but it's not the cores that you generally want to catch, so Klinks has more or less of a free fight here. And this will be a Desolator completed and 1 CS down here in the bottom lane. Ame should be flying that out now. We're starting to...
Thompson.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, so it'll be a free kill. He's been stalking FY. Like, I think he's got a full dossier on FY and how he moves in a jungle. But with Ame in the neighborhood, he may be a little bit more cautious about this. The cold feet's on FY, so here we go with the Meteor Hammer. It'll connect on his target. Now Ame turns around, beating it to Thompson with the EMP burn. FY still, no, doesn't have enough life to survive.
Nice kill from Thompson.
Oh, they get another one. Chalice. How many times can be ruptured up at Aegis attendance? It's got 11-1 charges to give him the life. Not to mention the Hood of Defiance, a little bit of extra save. And Ame has to wait off this Blade Mail of Ana. He cannot attack into it, but now he goes off. The Global Silence. No more steering arrows for you with the hold. They're going to get the kill. All in a day's work indeed for OG. And what a day's work.
LGD were not in position with heroes to help there. Only the Klinks backing up the Enchantress. There was no Maiden, there was no Storm. Speaking of Storm, he will grab a solo kill here. Somnus finds No-Tail in the river.
No-Tail's worth 312 gold. That's just the position LGD are in.
Solo kills still give a decent amount of gold.
Yep. He's 0 for 7 on that silencer. Bottom lane, send him up and towards the air, and then Cold Snap, combining with the Spirit Vessel. It hurts FY pretty bad, as he got it, doesn't have a fissure. So TP away to safety will happen, and Thompson's not done. He's just hunting. Quas, Wex, Invoker. He's the real bounty hunter.
And he has the Spirit Vessel, which is an amazing item against the Enchantress, so I don't think he can solo kill the Ench, but it's pretty close. He needs just a little bit of help, like 1 or 2 spells from Lina, or maybe the help of a Shockwave.
They're headed top lane. Ana and Seb are pushing in the top lane. Thompson's just waiting for things. Good Observer Ward from OG. X-Nova's on the edge of it with Somnus. Just watching that smoke of deceit that's on X-Nova. They need to check.
Thompson's going to try it.
They're already flagging it.
He is trying. Let's see if he has enough.
Bottom lane. So, Spirit Vessel, EMP burn. Chance to get the ulti off because the heal off. That's
not even close.
Yeah. And FY and X-Nova, they smoked on top of the Observer Ward. OG instantly moved back into relative safety. This is not what Ame wanted. He's got the Desolator. He wants to find a kill and then just slip into Roshan. But OG are not going to give him the opportunity. Perfect Observer Ward down from Jirax. Sees Ame taking the stack.
Well, they might try to jump him now that Strafe is on cooldown. Jirax is looking for it.
It's on the target. Laguna Blade will connect. Ame will go invis. Detection. The Yule Scepter. They throw down the Sentry Ward. X-Nova wants to help. He just gets caught inside the Tornado. Chalice throwing out the Impetus, but it won't matter when Thompson brings down the Meteorite. It's Armageddon. And next, Earthshaker. Seb hits the RP, skewering back the Enchantress. Comes close towards the Earthshaker. They get another Light Strike Array. They just combo one after the other. OG. LGD with the one-to-one. The fight to take Roshan, but the shoe is on the other foot, and OG are shoving it firmly up Roshan.
Finding that initial opening on the Klinks is what decided that entire fight. LGD, they are getting jumped so often by this. Just a really amazing ward from Jirax in that situation, but Thompson seems to always be in the right place at the right time for the follow-up. Really nice Tornado, Meteor Hammer combination. Don't try this at home, but it's really good if you know what you're doing.
Got to come with a warning. You can't play like OG. Let's see it again, just for the joys. This is where it all started, the initiation onto the Klinks. Sentry down, and then Thompson. X-Nova just walks straight into it.
Yeah, he wanted to try and help against the Lina, but ends up just getting caught together with him. Very nicely positioned by Thompson. And the patience, too. He's really just waiting. Again, RP, this time it gets a core. RP Skewer on the Rupture. Excellent synergy between those two heroes, and OG claim 4 in the Aegis.
You know when Invoker's having fun? Like I'm microing orbs and I can also micro my voice lines at the same time.
Yep. Thompson's good.
Oh. Well, they haven't been tested totally yet, but a 17-17, OG have the advantage. 3K is the gold and it's actually approaching 4K pretty soon. As PSG.LGD, they need a fight. They need something to go their way. RP is down for another 20 seconds. So that's a small window.
Yep.
And that's why they're forcing the tier 2 tower on bottom lane.
Ana is really strong, however. He has the Blade Mail and Radiance and Empower. This Bloodseeker is really in a carry position right now.
The scan is going to ping. LGD know they're coming. Trigger off the dust. It's all too far away. They thought OG were just running at it, so Chalice ruptured up again inside the Blood Right. FY is waiting for the perfect Echo Slam, but he doesn't see the rest of OG. Thompson, perfect fissure, and the Echo Slam. That's what LGD needed. Pull him back in, break the Aegis Mortal. X-Nova letting it go, but Seb, he goes one step better. RPing them in. Crystal Maiden. Positive is negative. She wasn't ready for the reverse polarity. Charles is on the run back out. Same with Arme. This is not the fight they want anymore. But it's the two supports that go down for LGD. That could have been a lot worse, and they still got the kill on Thompson.
I think LGD actually pretty happy with this. They got rid of the Aegis, and the big cooldowns are now not available.
And now they find Jirax. Searing arrows come thick and fast. Defensive Yorceptor will actually dodge it. Charles in the middle of the fight, and now they have enough. But Somnus, Mana's not good, but Ana, he's having real issues getting in closer. Locked in with the pull. LGD put 4 of OG in the grave without their buybacks up.
It's tricky for OG to take these fights when Thompson is dead and they don't have their 2 big cooldowns. No RP, no global silence, and still Jirax stuck around. And they try to help him. They basically give another 2 extra kills over to LGD that they weren't even expecting, so they'll take that.
This is exactly what LGD needed.
Somnus is getting really big now too. He just got a Bloodstone with his Kaya. This is the true carry build on Storm if you're aiming to really snowball. It is a high-risk, high-reward build. Generally, we see players go for the Orchid.
Yeah.
But he can become a true position 1 on Storm this game.
Here we watch the fight again. Charles initiated on, tanks through a large amount, but FY waiting. The 3-man fissure and the double Echo Slam. LGD know they need to just put that combination of Thompson away. He has to stand where he is with a Meteor Hammer.
It was actually integral to the outcome of that fight that the fissure clipped the Shaker, or the Magnus. Seb couldn't get the counter blink RP off that he was looking for, just got caught on the end of the fissure. FY, really big play from him. I don't even think he saw that he hit it. I believe OG were under the cover of smoke at the time on the Magnus, but...
They can watch the Twitch clip later on. Or Steam clip, or whatever clip you use.
You can watch the replay.
Yeah, replay's good. At LGD. So now, with a little bit of momentum, they swing the graphs back their way. It was about a 4,000 net worth swing, and about 5,000 on the experience. They get ahead. But now OG also have the combination up. The RP is ready to roll. LGD are grouping up on the top, but they're not ready to fight just yet. Arme still inside the trees. He's trying to finish up his BKB before the fight begins. And it almost feels like OG are dangling Seb on the front line saying, hey, would you like to go for our initiator?
Just say dangle.
I did say dangle. Is this a bad word for you?
I think it's a BSJ term.
That's fine.
It's not going to be a thing.
BSJ is infectious.
It is not going to be. BSJ, if you're listening, it's not a thing.
It's a thing. We'll make it a thing. Crimson Guard is done over on Seb, so protection is starting to arrive for OG. They've got the team fight, now they need the sustain inside the team fight. Same with the Radiance and the Blade Mail of Bloodseeker. It does cause problems for LGD in the engagement.
Yep.
And this is something Somnus needs to overcome. How many times have we seen a Bloodstone picked up during TI8, and then we check back 10 minutes later and there's 2 charges? I'm not against LGD not taking a fight and finishing up this BKB on the Storm Spirit, so it can be involved.
I think Bloodstone has been the least successful item of the whole tournament, actually.
Yeah, there's a stat for Nahas to look up.
The majority of the times it's been picked up, they end up with less than 10 charges when the game's over. Sometimes less than 5, but this time around, though, LGD, they're itemizing correctly, in my opinion, afterwards. He's going for the BKB, not the Orchid, just needs to have that safety. So the only thing that truly counters him is either getting global during BKB or getting RP'd, which is relatively easy to play around as Storm Spirit.
Yep.
Plinks has the same idea, just completed his.
5-man smoke up. This time it won't be underneath an observer ward. In fact, OG's vision It's very defensive. They have nothing over the river apart from the creep wave. They just have the Observer and Sentry, but it's a little bit too far away from the mid. Global Silence comes out, but it will not matter. Seb is removed, Magnus is down, and that's that big team fight that OG require to hold back LGD, and they didn't have to break all the smokes. FY, as well as X-Nova, are still looking for more.
Cooldown on Global is so important. Storm feels like a god right now in the coming fight. Even has a haste rune. So,
slow down the push.
Give them the fight. They'll just try to defend.
Yeah.
Look at that damage though.
Oh, good Laguna. FY is in trouble. Spirit Vessel's on him. He's taking damage from the creeps as well. No denial available, but Chalice, the damage with the Impetus, it's all flying into top. He'll go Invis, but that's why they forced up forward. They really want this kill, and Chalice has got it. Then turns attention towards No-Tail, almost killing him. 7 HP on the Silencer. He can't do anything because Arme is a beast. So is Chalice. LGD. Back to back to back to back fights going their way, and OG, they are in trouble. They must steady this ship or LGD will level this series.
Well, Toby, Bloodstone's down to 10, so we must stay true to tradition.
Take the negative way, don't you?
Stay true to tradition. Well, if you want a positive for OG, No-Tail survived with, I think, 10 HP there against the last Impetus. So.
He was at 7 HP he was living with. But Seb, he may not have the same kind of luck. Skewers away.
It's okay.
And he will be fine.
Very tanky with that Crimson Guard build that he has chosen to go for in this game.
That's the one ability that wasn't used. FY is holding this level 2 Echo Slam.
Fortunately for OG, their chat wheels are generally not on cooldown, so they can always use those.
Anna.
Global's down.
May will see him, but Anna will see him back as well. Sentry ward place. Fissure is good. Anna, Arme, no, he's going to be careful, but no. RP will catch on 3, but where's your follower? It's an Enigma Black Hole with nothing else left. EMP Tornado, Thompson's your follow-up, trying to combine. They hit the combination right. CM will die. Earthshaker will burn, but not all the way down. FY, maybe take it back. He actually goes down, but deep, deep, deep inside the base. Saunders is looking to end this. 4 heroes gone. Thompson the last one to fall. He doesn't have buyback. That was OG want to defend this. This will be so huge. Economic disadvantage.
Such a long jump. That ball lightning, massive damage from LGD. They're definitely going to force buybacks here. The question is, OG, who do you want to expend it on?
Or do they just let it go?
They might.
Like right now, you don't have RP. You may not have the ability to fight. The tier 2 towers are up. So LGD, they can't go for much more apart from tier 4 towers. Yeah, just let it go.
Huge, huge win for LGD here. And again, the most important thing is getting the jump and playing around the cooldowns of OG. They found the Bloodseeker, they killed him off. Ana, he was looking so great 6 minutes ago, but 0 itemization progress except just this one Ogre Axe. You're going to see it here. The Fissure didn't even get particularly lucky there with the Clinks, missed multiple attacks in a row. RP is good, but Lena's not in position. Lena's not in position. Invoker, yeah, you get the combo out on the Maiden, that's great, but actually Shaker, did he just barely lived. That was very close on him as well.
He did die? Yeah, he died to Silencer. But Somnus just goes in ham, and Thompson, you just realize that last one wasn't even with mana. It was just a base attack that flew out.
Somnus can go so crazy when spells have been used. It's almost impossible for the Radiant lineup to deal with the Storm Spirit now that the BKB is ready as well. He is actually just 100% safe when Global and RP are down. There is nothing stopping him from doing whatever he wants.
Kill everyone. That's the plan.
This play has to work for OG.
They're looking to fight. OG want to take this, even if it's just to get the bounty runes at the 30-minute mark. They would love that, but Roshan may be the bigger target. Somnus, yeah, used 3 remnants to take it. Arme's got the damage, but RP is up. OG isn't finding the target. They have taken the scenic route, and they will not reach their destination in time.
They're just preparing for the bounty rune still. They're going to use the Crimson Guard, anticipating a fight.
1100, 600, Roshan will die, and now OG realize the horrible, horrible truth. LGD, they jump in deep, grabbing Seb! He actually hit the combination with the EMP Tornado and the Meteorite dropping. LGD are in trouble, but no, they're not. They've got BKBs traveling after Seb, all dust up, nowhere to hide, just a place to TP out, but the stun's available. A double kill for Arme, and they will push.
This is that classic anti-synergy moment that everybody has had in their pub game. You land this 3-man RP and Invoker just tornadoes everyone. You're like, why? Why would you do that? But, you know, in the heat of the moment, you got to make a decision. I think Thompson made the wrong one. Sure.
Got him!
That's a good snipe. Should have probably just dropped down the EMP, held his tornado, and gone for other spell combinations, because what ends up happening is that the entire RP duration is used, and when they fall down...
FY! Looking to go solo. Lena had the Yule Scepter available, but Fissure, FY will hold back.
This is why the BKBs are so important, because when they come out of Tornado in this fight, LGD, they pop their BKBs, Global was used, RP was used, there's nothing left. So this fight is super easy for them. Once the Tornado comes out, OG actually just lost it. They gotta be so careful with using this Tornado correctly from Thompson. One more time with a mistake like this, the game's over.
Yep. It's gonna get worse. Somnus actually has Bloodstone charges. But the tier 2 tower is what's under threat. Ball Lightning jump once again right under that tier 2 tower. Anna just gets deleted. He was a little bit too far out. Now Arme can run over underneath the Observer and Sentry, but I don't think he cares. They see him. A cheese in his backpack, that's in his inventory. That's why he doesn't care about the low mana.
I wonder how you would draw a graph of Anna's impact in this game. Like, it feels like he was looking so hot, and everything has just been like a just full-on steep hill drop-off.
It's a side view of the Grand Canyon is what it is.
Pretty
it looks
much what it
pretty
feels like.
close to actually what's happening with the graphs with both gold and experience. Everything just goes downwards. Almost 18,000 advantage for LGD and experience. They have a chokehold on this game. And they need to hold it. No mistakes. That is the possibility of OG. The fight from inside their base. The RP, the combo hitting right this time, and we'll watch it hitting wrong.
Yeah, so
just as a way
great
of
RP
knowing
and the Tornado on top of it. It actually looked like miscommunication because the Tornado was already flying out and Seb just saw this amazing opportunity. It's one of those moments both of the players see this great play at the same time, but the spells don't synergize very well.
Yeah.
And so I thought Thompson threw out the Tornado too late, but as a matter of fact, they kind of just used them at the same time. That's just, it's unfortunate. It's one of those things that can happen. And once that does, that fight was just a clean sweep for LGD.
Yep. No, FY.
Oh, not again. Not again.
And the long Ball Lightning. Somnus jumps in, the BKB to protect him. Anna once again being picked off outside the base.
They're picking on the young guy.
It's the inexperience, right?
Oh, you wouldn't call Anna inexperienced.
Yeah, he's
played major events. He's in the top 3 here, I think.
It's true. Actually, the only 2 players who are on this field right now is Thompson and Challenge, who have not competed at a TA. But LGD, they're coming into the trees. They find Seb. No RP available. They just find it. A quick silence over onto Somnus, but it won't matter when Charles has the damage. Global silence now being committed. Magnus, he wants the RP. He needs the targets, but Seb, he just looks around. He doesn't know what to hit. There's nothing to hit. He's dead for 50 seconds. And this should be a second lane of rack for LGD. Nothing can stop this. Now they jump. Fissure looking for the target. Thompson sends him up and towards the air pretty quickly. The Fissure, just I think it was a little short.
Very mistimed stun there from Jerax off the Yules, but
Rupture.
Still an Aegis buffer anyway for Somnus.
Looking for the target. Tornado flies through. Arme's already taken the lane of Rax. OG, they need something here. The EMP burned us into anything. In fact, now they go back in. LGD, Somnus on a quick jump. He's already just going to control up Thompson and let the rest of the team do the work. This could be the game. The control is everywhere. Buyback up from Thompson. He's looking at Somnus, but then your echo slam from FY. Hold, and kill Thompson. He's up the racks. He's up the ring.
Oh, that timing!
Nice! Seb, RP, pull them back, away from the Cataclysm, but into your home! Unwelcome visitors are repelled by OG, but they still lost their bottom lane of racks.
Well, at least they cleaned up a lot of kills, but it's still 18,000 gold lead and 2 lanes of racks. Buybacks expended. Jerax and Thompson. Oh, Clinks. He found Thompson, no buyback. 100 seconds, LGD. They will have a 40-second window with all of their heroes alive, or they could choose to risk it by buying back Chalice right now and trying to end the game with a 5-on-4 play. Knowing that RP is on cooldown, I actually wouldn't blame them for going for that, but at the same time, could also just play it slow.
No tell. He just came for the bounties. All he wanted was the money. And he'll end up going down. What? No reason to tip. You give him the kill.
X-Nova wanted that kill for the Glimmer.
That's his first kill. It took 35 minutes and he got his first kill. and they're going to find another one into the mid lane. Jirax has to Yule Scepter, but create a little bit of space, but back off because Somnus, he is coming forward, looking for another target onto Lina. FY will give the extra stun. Anna thinks he can turn around for this fight. The global silence is out, but Jirax cannot sustain.
It's too late. Spells already went out here when Notel buys back for the global, so now global is down 2. And now this is even more of a power play for LGD because they have a 5-on-3 play with no global.
Yep, no
RP
RP.
for 30 seconds.
And they're coming in.
And they still
Top
have a
lane of Rax
cheese
is
too.
open.
Forgot about that.
Yeah, Somnus is the man holding on to that. Ball lightnings to the top. Push the wave in. They've got a huge wave going through mid. And without Thompson, there's not enough control. Without the RP, there's not enough control. And don't even really have the damage either. X-Nova's looking for the opening. That's one quick frostbite onto Notal would be nice, but it doesn't matter when Arme, he's attacking everything. The split shot attack from Arme. This Rax doesn't stand a chance. Seb, he has RP available. It's now or never. He needs a quick jump, but they orchid him. They silence him up when Anna is the man initiating. He chased after across the main, probably the only hero he thought he could kill. While the drop down, Thompson is still not enough. Someone just bounces away. The EMP burn is there, but really, this game should be over. There's too many heroes down. Thompson can't escape. Seb! Oh, if he can only skewer! Pull him in! Pull him in! It will not happen! A triple kill for Chalice sends LGD into a deciding game against OG. They tried OG. They tried their hardest out, but LGD, time and time again, they got the combinations, they got the pick off, and the damage on a level that OG